WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station. Your trusted and relevant source for news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
At 7 o'clock, it's 68 degrees and slightly raining in Milwaukee. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Jack Grau. In an 8-1 ruling, the Supreme Court favored a federal ban on gun ownership for anyone under a domestic violence restraining order. All the justices, except Justice Clarence Thomas, said it was not a violation of the Second Amendment. ABC senior national correspondent Terry Moran.
Chief Justice John Roberts, writing for the majority, we conclude only this: an individual found by a court to pose a credible threat to the physical safety of another may be temporarily disarmed, consistent with the Second Amendment. Justice Clarence Thomas, the lone dissenting vote, warned that today's decision could be the start of a slippery slope and contradicts a major Supreme Court ruling in 2022 that held that new gun laws must be consistent with this nation's historical traditions of firearms regulation.
More than 100 million Americans were under excessive heat warnings and advisories yesterday, and hot temperatures are continuing this weekend. CBS News correspondent Bradley Blackburn says some people aren't even able to get relief when they want it.
For many, water is the best source of relief, but the heat can even disrupt that. Some beaches in Vermont closed due to dangerous cyanobacteria blooms.
I was going to come down and cool off.
And in Ohio, kayak companies are cutting hours to keep paddlers out of the water during the hottest time of the day.
Definitely, you can tell they're coming off tired, and everybody just feels the heat.
Temperatures expected to return to the 90s in Wisconsin this weekend. Another day at Summerfest with storms in the forecast today. Milwaukee World Festival CEO Sarah Pancheri tells Wisconsin's Afternoon News they're keeping a close eye on the weather, but that the potential of rain shouldn't discourage festival goers from coming through the gates.
We are, of course, watching the weather very, very closely. At the same time, we know that in Wisconsin, things change often very, very quickly. So you really just need to dress for it and come on down and enjoy the festival.
Your complete 5-day forecast coming up after the news. And Summerfest won't be the only place to hear music this weekend. A familiar face coming back to American Family Field tonight.
When the sun goes down.
Country star Kenny Chesney may need to take up residency. He's back in Milwaukee tonight.
This, I think, is his fourth concert here.
Brewers president of business operations Rick Schlesinger tells Wisconsin's Morning News Chesney enjoys the familiar confines of AmFam.
He loves playing here. He loves playing in a climate-controlled environment with a roof. While the stage has him covered, he doesn't want his fans to get wet.
And even with Summerfest underway, the show nearly sold out. Eric Bilstead, WTMJ.
Everything gets hotter when the sun goes.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Siding Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 7:03.
Your home can be more maintenance-free when you rely on J&B.
This is Tom Feza. When I have a roofing question, I contact Scott Klein, owner of J&B Construction, provider of high-quality exterior home improvement products and services since 1958.
Thanks, Tom. Between the two of us, we've seen hundreds of failed roofs, along with the unfortunate consequences of water damage. Poor workmanship, improper product usage, lack of ventilation, inferior flashing detail, and loss of control due to subcontractors are some of the most common reasons for roofs failing. At J&B, our objective is not just to sell another roof. We want to educate our clients. When J&B's experienced sales staff achieves that goal, our roof systems sell themselves.
For a complimentary roof evaluation, call Scott at 262-437-0537 or visit jnbconstruction.com.
Your home can be more maintenance-free when you rely on J&B.
There's an amazing supper club in Wisconsin Dells, Ish Nala, nestled among the pines and perched above the sandstone bluffs of Mirror Lake. The beauty, the history, the service, the food, the fun. Hi, this is Bob Prosser, owner of Ish Nala Supper Club in Wisconsin Dells. I've been a part of Ish Nala since 1973, and I am so proud to continue the tradition that began in 1953. Why not enjoy a brandy old-fashioned in one of our bars, each with a spectacular view overlooking Mirror Lake, or just relax before or after dinner on one of our outdoor decks. Our Ish Nala chefs have prepared your favorites: 24-ounce ribeye, cold water lobster tails, North Atlantic salmon, and of course, Ishnala's roast duck. Thank you for making Ishnala Wisconsin's favorite supper club, where the only thing we overlook is Mirror Lake. I'm Bob Prosser, and I want to serve you.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All sports desk. The Brewers are 0-2 against the San Diego Padres this series, taking a 9-5 loss last night. They'll try to prevent a sweep tonight with Game 3, first pitch at 6:15, with WTMJ's coverage starting at 5. Taking a look at your roads with your Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver traffic. Certainly a couple areas that we're keeping an eye on. Near 894 on the ramp to 94. Expect some lane closures due to a crash there. Near downtown Milwaukee on 794 east at Van Buren Street. That right shoulder blocked due to a disabled vehicle there. Just north on 43 south at the ramp from North Avenue. Right 2 lanes are blocked due to a crash. And then near Menominee Falls on 45 south at Appleton Avenue. That right shoulder blocked due to a crash. Right now, not seeing any major backups or slowdowns because of those crashes, but keep an eye out for them.
Traffic is sponsored by Angela Calais and Benefit Realty.
At Benefit Realty, pay only 3.5 to 3.9% real estate commission and get all the service that you should. Benefit Realty, you pay less for full service. Benefit-realty.com.
Your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Temperatures still staying high today with a high of 83 by the lake and 90 degrees by the Illinois state line. Expecting some more rain, 1 to 2 inches total possible, getting down to a low of 67 this evening. On Sunday, a high of 77 with a slight chance of showers in the evening. On Monday, a high of 80 with sun. Tuesday, hot again, a high of 90 with some humidity and a chance of showers. Wednesday, mostly sunny and a high of 82. If you're in Madison, you're getting temperatures like 71 degrees with clouds in the sky. Green Bay, 63 degrees and foggy. And Waukesha, 67 degrees with fog. Right here in Milwaukee, 68 degrees with clouds. I'm Jack Grau, Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:07.
This is the Fix-It Show on WTMJ. Advice and opinions expressed during the program are solely that of the hosts or guests and not WTMJ Radio or Good Karma Brands Milwaukee, LLC. When it comes to home repairs, we could all use a guy. Well, we've got the guy. And we've got the show. For all your home improvement questions, we've got answers. This is the Fix-It Show on WTMJ, presented by J&B Construction and Siding Unlimited. Now, here's your host, Dayton Kane and David Nason.
Welcome to the Fix-It Show for June 22nd, 2024. Dayton Kane and David here. How are you?
Good morning.
Thank you for that. I want to give a shout out for all my customers who call me and listen to the show.
When you do inspections, one of the things that you look at is basements.
That is
and
correct.
Foundations. And
one of the more important things to look at, yes.
An expert on the show who knows all about it, been doing it for a long time. Let's say good morning to our guest, Jeff Ellsworth from Gatish Foundation. How are you?
Very good.
Gatish Foundation. Your name is not Gatish. It's Ellsworth.
Ellsworth, yes. Corey Gatish, the founder, he's been gone for some time. He battled a brain tumor, and now he is no longer with us. So I was helping him run the company, and eventually I took the company over.
Okay.
Over 15 years ago.
We like to start the show with introducing your company to everybody. So tell us where you're located, what you do, what areas you service.
We're in St. Francis, Wisconsin. We go as far as Oconomowoc, we go as far Mequon, we go as far Racine. We're starting to touch into Kenosha, and then obviously we stop at the lake.
You're not underwater foundation specialist.
We're not going to fix the boat.
Some days it might seem like you're underwater.
Yeah.
But
so
lately.
Let's talk about that. Last year at this time we were in a drought. This year we're the exact opposite. So I'm assuming you're much busier this year than you were last spring.
We've been getting more phone calls. this year than last year. We were busy last year, but they're different phone calls in rain. A lot of time when you get a lot of rain, people get, I've never had water, and you get there and you get that one area that they've got water that day, and people all of a sudden overreact sometimes to that problem. Sometimes it's an incident. It's not a problem. And you really have to be careful to go outside and look around gutters, downspouts, and landscaping and make sure everything is pitched away. Anytime you put too much water next to a house, it'll leak. A brand new house will leak if you put too much water next to it. So you have to be very careful not to overreact to a situation.
Okay. So you go out, do a free service call or consultation and determine, is this a problem we can fix, or is this something that you could just do on your own? And
the way we run it, or the way I run it, is I believe that our job is to go out and educate a person on their basement. What they want to do is that's up to them. We tell them, try this, try that, try this. If you own your home, you can try a lot of things before you have to fix it.
Right.
Once you go to sell that home, you can't. We have to guarantee the next owner has a structurally good and dry basement. That's where the problem is always, and that's kind of what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about what homeowners can do while they own the home before they have to call me when they're selling the home, because it's a whole different conversation when you're selling a home versus when you own a home.
Yeah,
exactly. I mean, you're exactly right. And part of what I do during home inspections, I'm educating the buyer. And like you said, at that point, it's kind of too late for the seller to try to do any maintenance or improvements and things. So now we're talking about, does something need to be fixed? And I tell people, everything's fixable, right? Your roof's fixable, your siding's fixable, your foundation's fixable. During a real estate transaction, now it's just a matter of who's paying to fix it. So definitely good information to give people what they can do while they still own their home.
So I'm assuming a lot of people have been experiencing some water in the basement. Maybe they have questions for you, Jeff. So we're going to open the phone lines at 855-616-1620. That is the WTMJ Talking text line. We'd love to hear from you. Yep. You can call that. You can text it. Ask your questions. And he's with us all hour. Gadish Foundation Company. That's Gaidish. Gadish.com. It's the website. Very simple.
Get up and get on your phone. Call in.
Very simple. Good morning. Thanks for listening to WTMJ.
When we're out in your town, come say hi to us as we broadcast live from the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio.
Anytime you hear us when we're out on the road, you can find us live from our brand new mobile studio.
Whether it be Summerfest, EAA, Opening Day, Air and Water Show, wherever we may be, you can see us on the radio, live from the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
Wisconsin's radio station.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
WTMJ.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano inviting you to spend New Year's at sea and offering you an amazing deal if you book the Vinny Cruise now. Join my family and me on Royal Caribbean's Wonder of the Seas, a Western Caribbean cruise leaving December 29th. Right now you can save up to $875 per person if you book through my partners, Expedia Cruises Brookfield. It's the only place you can get this deal right now. We'll stop in Mexico, Honduras, Royal Caribbean's private island in the Bahamas. And let's spend some time together. A welcome cocktail party for our group, dinner, a full group excursion on Roatan Island, a day of sloths, monkeys, zip lining, snorkeling, and a delicious local island-style lunch included. Our group from Wisconsin rings in the new year then together at sea. Enjoy Christmas here at home, and then let's set sail for the trip of a lifetime. Couples, bring the kids, or grandma and grandpa. How about bringing the entire family? Email me for more information from Expedia Cruises Brookfield. Vince at WTMJ.com. That's Vince at WTMJ.com.
Your basement. Ooh, wall cracks. Oh no, seepage. And stains on the bottom of those walls. Terrifying. The only thing scarier than basement issues are businesses that prey on your fear over those terrifying foundational cracks. The team at Gadish Foundation never uses high-pressure sales tactics. Over 90% of Gadish Foundation's jobs are through referrals. So, for an honest opinion on the condition of your basement, call Gadish Foundation today. Spelled G-A-I-Dish. Gadish.com.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik here to tell you about my friends over at the Hounds and Tap in Menominee Falls. It's a state-of-the-art facility and the ultimate hangout for hounds and humans. Grab a drink at the tavern, meet others while your pup enjoys the dog park. That's a mud-free dog park, by the way. Fun, happy, clean, and a great environment for everyone. The Hounds and Tap also provides doggy daycare, boarding, and professional grooming services. We take our Greyhound there regularly. Learn more about their services. Check out thehoundsandtap.com. That's thehoundsandtap.com.
Go with your gut. Your dog's immune system is based in the gut. A diet lacking in nutrients can cause itching, scratching, and a weak immune system. However, there is a solution. DINOVITE. Dinovite.
It took a grand total of 2 weeks. The dog stopped itching, the hair stopped falling out.
Try Dinovite for free. Just pay shipping and handling. Learn more at dinovite.com/radio.
Happier, healthier with every bite. Over 1 million pets helped with Dinovite.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated in the best hearing aids of 2024 by USA Today, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, just $189.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 500,000 happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
The Fix-It Show with Dayton Kane and David Nason on WTMJ.
My favorite time of year when all the concerts are going on. Summerfest started up on Thursday tonight. This band, AWOL Nation, going to be on the Generac Power Stage at 9:30. You're going to go see that show, aren't you, David? AWOL Nation?
Probably, yes. I can't decide. Do I go to Summerfest and see that? Do I go to AmFam Field and see
Kenny Chesney?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do I go to Alpine Valley and see Dave Matthews? I got tickets to all of them, but I can't decide which one to go to.
That was hard for me to determine between Dave Matthews Band and Kenny Chesney, but we're going to the Kenny Chesney, Zach Brown concert tonight.
That Alpine Valley is going to be a mess.
Yeah. Oh, with all this rain?
And even if it doesn't rain anymore today, but it's going to, that whole grass sitting area. I was at a concert once where they had just resodded it, and so we'll get to here in a second, Jeff. And they were tearing up the sod. I don't know if it was the Monsters of Rock or something. And
they
just
did that at Lollapalooza, too, as well, when I was there back in
could be a mess.
1992.
And then the parking lot's a mess. And everything. It's a great venue, but when it's wet, it can be trouble.
You can mudslide. It's all good.
Right.
Just like you deal with mud and rain.
So they should build a nice foundation wall around it, right, Jeff? Right. Yeah, definitely.
So Jeff is with us from Gatish Foundation Company. You guys do restoration and repair on foundations, basements, things going on down there. Let's talk about what people can be looking at. You say sometimes people can freak out about their basement if there's some water. What are some signs that we should? Is there ever something where we see something where like we should freak out and call you like, oh my gosh, this is happening?
I don't think freak out's a good word, but I think you should go in your basement and you look at your basement. I mean, you look at, and again, look in the corners, see if there's cracking. Look at the third to fourth course down from the top, see if there's a crack. Look at the bottom of the wall and see if there's efflorescence on the bottom of the wall, which is a white powder. And it's not dangerous. It's the lime and the salt being pulled out of the block. And then look for, staining on the wall. And don't assume because there's a little stain on the wall, it's this toxic mold and you have to leave your home. Keep the water away and you will stop you will stop the problem. If you stop feeding the growth will die. Mm-hmm. And then you have somebody clean it off, but you just get someone to clean it off without fixing the problem, it's going to come back. Gutters, again, Tom Feza 100 years ago said gutters, landscaping, and downspouts. Keep the water away from your house. Drain tile was never intended to handle groundwater. It's the hydrostatic pressure from underneath the floor that it keeps below your floor. You have to keep groundwater away from your home with gutters, downspouts, and landscaping. That solves most of your problem because they backfilled with clay. When they backfilled with clay, the clay gets wet, it expands and contracts. And that's why everything above that 24 to 32-inch freezes, everything below it doesn't. That's why cracks develop at that frost line.
Right. And you said before we got on the air earlier when we were in the studio here, the landscaping, we're not talking about mulch or rocks or, pretty-looking stuff, which is nice. We're talking about dirt.
The brown-based dirt has to be under the landscaping. The dirt does the landscaping, and the other stuff is just the pretty.
Right.
So put the dirt down, and when you're going to landscape, pull your mulch or stone away from the dirt, redo the dirt, and then put your stone back on top. Right. Don't think 24 inches, and I'm not kidding, 24 inches of mulch is the way to landscape a home.
Yes. Every once in a while, sometimes you do have to get rid of some mulch. If you got it so much every year, all you do is put nice, pretty mulch on it. Sometimes you got to get rid of it. Make sure, because it just rots and it turns into dirt. I mean, but water's going to go right through it. So you're right. The dirt is where we need to have that slope away from the house.
855-616-1620 is the WTMJ talk and text line. It says here, you mentioned efflorescence. I can never say that word right. Efflorescence. And that is not a
spell.
And that is not a danger, but what can you do about it? Should we be concerned about, does that mean there's water behind that wall and it's seeping through slowly?
It means the block has gotten wet.
Okay.
And when the block gets wet, in the natural drying process of the block, as the block dries out, it's pulling the lime and the salt with it. And as it does that, it leaves a white, salty type substance on the bottom of the wall.
Okay.
So is it a danger? No, but it's a sign. You know, your left arm hurts, you might want to go have your heart checked. It's a sign that you should keep an eye on that. Go outside, check before the problems occur when you go to sell your home, because you can live with the problems all day long.
Yeah.
But when you go to sell that home, if you don't have an answer for those problems, it becomes a big problem, because the buyers don't want, well, yeah, that's been like that forever. Or, we have to look, and a lot of people get mad at us. We go to a house and we look at a house and we say, well, that's been like that for 30 years. And I look at it and say, I wish I could believe you, but you don't say it like that. But yeah, I need evidence. I need a baseline. Once I have a baseline to something to compare it to, that will determine on whether or not I'm going to assess the problem that you need work. You have a crack in the wall, you have 30-year-old paint, and there's paint inside that crack. I'm going to say, man, that crack was there when it was painted, so it's probably good. You slather a coat of paint on that old paint, now I'm going to say, you need to brace this wall because I can't tell if it's moving or not.
And that evidence is like photographs. You need pictures. Everybody's got a camera in their hand these days. Go and take some pictures and document what your walls look like. And you said, look at them. Come pay attention to your foundation, your basement. Every once in a while, every spring, whatever.
Right. Well, in your home inspection, if you get one when you buy the house, or even if you're looking down the road, let's say you've lived in your house for 30 years and you've never had a home inspection done. Get a home inspection, because that'll be documented in that.
Absolutely.
You'll have that document that says, hey, here's the pictures of these cracks, and when I had this inspection done 10 years ago, that's the same size they are now. So you have a way to document
that. If there
are
exposed foundation walls, because a lot of times people have their basement finished, but if there are exposed foundation walls, I put pictures of those walls in my reports to say, so like you said, 10 years from now, if you still have a copy of your report, or you call me, hey, can I get a copy? It's going to be in there, and it's going to document what the walls were like.
Absolutely. You know what I run into? I bought this house 8 years ago. Did you have a home inspection? Yes. Did you have the report? Don't know where it is.
Yeah.
You don't have that report. There's no documentation. Right. We start from scratch. When I'm in that house, I have an hour to tell you. Everyone gets mad at me, or people get mad sometimes. I got to tell them the facts. But the reality is, I can't see yesterday and I can't see tomorrow. I got to tell you what I see today.
Right.
People say it's not leaking today. Well, yeah, it's middle of summer. It hasn't rained in 2 weeks. Of course, there's no water in your basement.
Right. But, all right. So, keep that. I got a copy digitally and printed out in a folder that I have on mine. So you got to have.
And everyone I've done, I still have a copy. I still get emails every once in a while. Hey, I don't have my report anymore. Can you send it to me? Absolutely, I will.
All right. We're going to take another break. 855-616-1620. We have Jeff Ellsworth from Gatish Foundation. If you want to talk about your basement and what's going on there, now's the time to call in. It's the Fix It Show on WTMJ.
The following takes place outside of the Capital Heating, Cooling, and Electric headquarters.
I don't know, but Mama said you're inhaling particulates. If you don't clean out your ducts, you will be fresh out of luck. And air, clean air, healthy air.
Jason, what is happening? Merle's really whipping the crew into shape. You know he's a squirrel, right? Seth, people throughout history have respected leaders of all kinds. Like Squirrel Alexander the Great. You know, I think you're underestimating him. Really? Watch.
Capital cleans your ducts with high-powered trucks.
Because Capital believes you deserve to breathe clean, healthy air.
We destroy bacteria and annihilate allergies.
He's making them do push-ups. Yeah. Huh. See?
If you haven't had a duct cleaning in 5 years, schedule your Capital duct cleaning today at callcapitalcares.com.
With hail and high winds experienced this year in South Milwaukee, Oak Creek, and surrounding areas, Ridgetop Exteriors has been hard at work helping the community get their homes repaired. If you've experienced damage to your home, you need a local and trusted contractor. Ridgetop Exteriors' expert team specializes in navigating the insurance process so your repairs can get done. And they're happy to come out anytime for a free damage inspection. Schedule your free inspection today at ridgetopexteriors.com. Roofing, siding, windows, and doors. ridgetopexteriors.com.
Market volatility, global issues. We hear about inflation easing, but it's still a real issue. More than a few headwinds this year. That's probably why Americans like you feel uncertain about their financial future. Just 59% of affluent Americans felt secure last year, and that's down from the year before. Boomers, not much room for error. Gen X might need more than a 401k. And for millennial families with big dreams, it's time to get real about saving and investing. Talk to Annex Wealth Management. Build security with a partner on your side for unbiased advice. Our goal is a plan that prepares you to maintain your desired lifestyle throughout retirement. Investments are a start, but you may need more. That's why Annex delivers tax and estate planning. There's an Annex plan personalized for you. Annex Comprehensive Wealth fits most individuals and families, but if you've got high net worth with complex needs, Annex Private Client is your solution. Just starting out? Annex Ignite is a great choice. Know the difference with Annex Wealth Management. Click the Get Started button at annexwealth.com.
Vince Vitrano for Johnson & Sons Paving. Summer is here, but before we know it, we'll be prepping for winter. Johnson & Sons Paving wants to make sure you're ready by remembering the 3 R's of parking lot and asphalt maintenance. Reseal every 2 to 3 years. Repair when you see signs of cracking or potholes. And replace if there's standing water, warping, buckling, or sinking. Don't scare those customers or tenants away with a bad parking lot. Connect with Johnson & Sons today to make those minor repairs before they become huge headaches. Visit johnsonsonspaving.com.
WTMJ's The Fix-It Show with David Nason and Dayton Kane.
Good morning. Jeff from Gatish Foundation Company on with us as well this morning. 855-616-1620 is a WTMJ talk and text line. Let's go to Phil in Delafield. Good morning, Phil. What's your question?
Hey, guys. So I had a guy out yesterday to work on some windows. My home is 33 years old. I built it, so I've lived here the whole time. I had windows that were not staying up. So he came out and did the repair. And the side of the windows where the like the sliders where the windows slide up and down in were plastic, and they just popped out. And then he repaired them and put them back in. But when he pulled them out, at the bottom of the window frame, there was some dry rot on a couple windows because the water couldn't drain, properly from the window, so it made its way over to the wood on the side. My question is, he suggested to, cut out the bottom 4 or 5 inches of the frame behind the sliders and repair that. Is that feasible, or should I replace windows, or what am I looking at?
That can be done. It is kind of a little bit of a Band-Aid type fix, because not only is that frame possibly rotting, there could be water getting into the framing, the studs behind it. So it really depends. Sure. You'd have to do a little bit of looking further to see how extensive it is. I mean, window contractors all the time, they pull siding off, they're doing windows, and they just find where the water's getting in around the corners of the windows, and it just works its way down and into the wall or to the sheathing. So you might, if you're only replacing the frames or fixing the frames, you might just only be touching the surface there, unfortunately. Hopefully not.
Yeah.
But it would take a little bit more looking at to see if that's an acceptable repair, or should you just go ahead and do the windows. 30 years ago, houses, you're probably not having Tyvek on the houses. They weren't sealed up with the tape and everything that we use today, so the water just gets behind the siding, and it's a common problem.
So I just had the siding replaced like a month ago. And the guys, they didn't say anything. Maybe they saw something, but they didn't tell me. But They didn't mention, and I did have Tyvek on the house when we built it. So
okay, great.
It's just a matter of the guy that was out here worked for the manufacturer of the windows, and he said there was, he looked at the window and he said there's no way, there were no weep holes or anything at the bottom of the frame there to let the water out. So it kind of probably pooled,
yeah,
and then it made its way to the side. So
yeah,
okay, well. Can you recommend a company that would do that kind of stuff, or
that would fix a window?
To fix the windows,
or just to come out and look and let me know what I have?
Well, I'm looking at somebody who does that. Dayton works for Siding Unlimited.
We do free estimates. Yeah,
they do that. And then just to be fair, J&B Construction is coming in at an 8:00 hour. Scott Klein and Tim will be in. They do that as well. So those would be two very good companies that you could contact about that.
All right. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thanks for calling.
Thanks, Phil. All right. We do need to go over the WTMJ Breaking News Center. Before we do that, though, I want to give you the website for Gadish Foundation Company, GAI Dish, like as in dish soap, GAIDISH.com. If you want to look there, you'll see what they can all do for your basement repair. We will be back with Jeff for the next half hour, but let's go to the WTMJ Breaking News Center with Jack Grau. Good morning, Jack.
Good morning. Life in prison plus 40 years of confinement and supervision. That was the sentence for Gary Davis of Fond du Lac after being found guilty in the killing of Jacqueline Rooney in 2022 on Friday. Davis was found guilty of first-degree intentional homicide, mayhem, and hiding a corpse. Davis has maintained that he is innocent. The city of Waukesha, with a new fire chief, the Police and Fire Commission unanimously approved the appointment of Robert Goplin as the city's new fire chief at their meeting on June 19th. Goplin has more than 27 years of service in Green Bay. The University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee plans to sell its oldest, smallest residence hall as a cost-saving measure. The university purchased Purin Hall near Kenwood and Downer in 1963 and used it as a residence hall until its closure in 2023 after a feasibility study determined it wouldn't be cost-effective to do major renovations needed to continue operations. Taking a look at your roads with your Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver traffic. Some crashes across the Milwaukee traffic system that we're keeping an eye on 45 South and Appleton Avenue. That right shoulder blocked due to a crash there. In downtown Milwaukee, 794 East at Van Buren Street. That right shoulder is blocked due to a disabled vehicle. Watch out if you're in downtown right now. Near Greenfield, two spots we're keeping an eye on. 94 North going to 43. Expect some lane closures due to a crash there. And then farther east on 894 North beyond 43, the right lane blocked due to a crash there as well.
Traffic is sponsored by Hiller Ford, a family-owned dealership on Highway 100 in Franklin.
Get a new 2023 Ford F-150 from Hiller Ford with 1.9% 66-month financing plus a $2,000 factory flex-buy bonus cash.
And your WTMJ 5-day forecast going to be staying warm for the next couple of days. A high of 90 degrees if you're by the Illinois state line today. Storms likely again in the evening, 1 to 2 inches of rain possible, and getting down to a low of 67 tonight. On Sunday, a high of 77 with a slight chance of showers in the evening. Monday to start the week, sunny and warm with a high of 80. On Tuesday, a high of 90 with a chance of showers. Wednesday, a high of 82 and mostly sunny. In Madison, it's 72 degrees and partly cloudy. Green Bay, 63 degrees with some rain coming down. Waukesha, 68 degrees and cloudy. Right here in Milwaukee, 68 degrees and mostly cloudy. I'm Jack Grau, Siding Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 7:34.
Affordable glass and mirror home decor ideas will go as far as your style and imagination will take them. But not everyone has the time to think up new ways to make our products work for their home. So here are some ideas that could really take your home style to the next level. A great way to visually enlarge a small space is to add mirrors. We're seeing mirrored closet doors come back in style, but now they call them reflective storage units. And if they're done right, they can be quite appealing. Make your minimal bedroom more expansive looking with a wall of mirrors. Or how about a mirrored backsplash in your kitchen? Mirror front kitchen cabinets look really sleek. If you bring us the milled out cabinet doors, we'll install mirrors and your kitchen gets an instant style upgrade. This is Stacy Sinks with Les's Glass Service. If it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Less's Glass. Less's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lessglassservice.com.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here. Are you in the market for a new roof, but overwhelmed at how to start the process? Well, here's a suggestion. Go with Tri-County Contracting. Installing roofs since the 70s, this family-owned company works for you. Stop by their showroom in New Berlin or go to TriCountyContractingWI.com. You don't want a process that takes forever. Tri-County Contracting makes it easy, from getting the estimate to getting that brand new roof. Worry-free roofing, siding, and windows. Tri-County Contracting.
You can't buy caviar for the same price as candy. But right now, you can buy the highest-end Beautyrest Black and Tempur-Pedic mattresses for nowhere near their highest-end prices. Hassellus Mattress is clearing out a handful of premium floor models, like the Split King Tempur-Pedic Luxe Breeze in soft or firm. Was $10,198, now just $25,448. Only a few remain, and they will sell out. Find a self-service, employee-free showroom near you at Hassellus.com.
More of your questions next. It's the Fix It Show on WTMJ.
Getting psyched up. Little Kenny Chesney.
All right.
At American Family Field tonight. We are going to tailgate, whether rain or shine. Yeah, we're going to put up a big tent, so hopefully we're protected. As long as it's not windy, we'll be okay.
All right, I'll see you there.
But yeah, right. Yeah, right. Dayton Kane, David Nason here with Jeff Ellsworth from Gatish Foundation Company talking about basements, and we have a couple texts at 855-616-1620.
I'm going to paraphrase this one because it talks about neighbors and things. But so houses that have sump pumps and some crocks, you can adjust the levels of the sump pump, right? And where do you really want that float adjusted? So where's the water level? Where should that water level be in that crock?
Below the inlets.
Yeah.
You don't ever want the water to sit in the inlets because then you have to fill up the hole underneath of your basement. But whether you set the float higher or lower, it's really not going to change the amount of water. It's going to change the amount of time that the pump goes on and off, but not going to change the amount of water that pumps out. It's going to empty the crock.
Yeah.
Whether it goes, pumps out 1 gallon in 5 minutes or.
What if you're in an area maybe with a higher water table, where that water table is just maybe 4 or 6 inches below your floor, your basement floor? If you have it too low, you could be constantly pumping.
Correct. You have to. I mean, there's a certain sweet spot, and all pumps have throws on them. Unless you get a pump, there's some that you can actually put the inlet and out as often as you want because it actually mounts on the discharge pipe. But for the most part, whether it be what I think you shouldn't use is a mercury float, which flops up and down. You hope it doesn't hit something, or a mechanical float that goes on and off with a vertical ball. They still have a certain throw that you have to match. So whether you move it up or down, it's still going to go on and shut off the same amount of time. That just when it goes on and off is what the height of the pump is going to tell it to do.
Right. And then as far as discharges, that needs to stay on your property. You can't be directing a discharge onto a neighbor's property.
Well, in the city, again, you are correct. But at the end of the day, there's sometimes to where your neighbors are discharging onto your property because your house is 5 feet away from it. There's no place to go.
Right.
And those people are, again, the neighbor's not happy. But go look where your sump pump's discharging. It's probably discharging to the neighbor next to you on the other side.
Because it depends on the topography. If you're on a street that's got a slope to it and you're in the middle. Yeah, the neighbor above their water's probably coming to you, and like you just said, your water's going to the neighbor below you.
But you can, get hoses and pipes. You can trench. There's a lot of ways to do it, but to just think the problem can be solved by changing the float in a sub pump, that's not realistic. You need to change the discharge point. You can move them inside the house with PVC piping. You can move them outside the house with flex piping. Just remember, if you put a long piece of flex piping outside your house, you want to use a 1.5-inch piece of flex pipe that you can get an extension kit. In wintertime, better take that off because that's going to freeze and you're going to have a lot more problems in wintertime than you want.
Yeah.
You have to make sure water runs downhill. There's no low spots in the pipe you're running. If you're going to put a long discharge on, the water has to flow at a rate where it's not going to freeze during winter.
And back up and cause the pump to back up into your basement. Exactly.
855-616-1620, the WTMJ Talking text line. Jeff from Gatish Foundation Company on with us. We got another text there.
Yes, good morning. I use a dehumidifier in my basement in the summer. Is it harmful to the foundation when the humidity percentage runs higher during a wet season like this? So do they maybe need a second dehumidifier?
I mean, I go to houses that have huge ones, little ones, none.
Yeah.
I don't think it does any damage. It's more of a quality issue than it is a damage. I mean, a little extra moisture isn't going to hurt the block of a basement or the drain tile system of a basement. But you should always, if you don't want that musty smell, you need to keep the water, the moisture level down, the dampness down. But as far as probably half the houses I go to don't run dehumidifiers at all. So at the end of the day, I don't think it's going to cause any damage. I just think it's a comfort level.
Right. And then back to that whole efflorescence and mold. I was told by somebody, I think I'm fairly confident in this, a concrete block wall or concrete wall in itself cannot support mold growth if it gets wet. Now, if it's really dirty, that will, or if it's painted, because paint has organic compounds in it, and the paint can support a mold. But if it's just a bare concrete block wall concrete, you can't, quote unquote, get mold growing on that wall.
Well, again, organic growth.
Yeah.
It can't grow on. It's the same thing. You put insulation in certain types of insulation. No mold. You put a paper backed insulation. Now you've gave it a perfect surface for mold to grow.
Right.
So yes, it's insulation, wood. It grows on, but a cinder block wall. Just because I say that earlier, I said just because that black stain on it, don't assume it's mold.
Right. Yeah, it might just be dirty.
All right, before we go into this next break, just remind people where you guys are and what you do.
We're in southeast Wisconsin, over in St. Francis, by the lake, basically, by the airport is the easiest way to tell you. And like I say, we will go, just figure an hour each direction from our shop. We're comfortable going. In emergencies, sometimes we'll go a little bit farther, but we might tell you no if you live a little farther away than that.
All right. Jeff is with us for another 18 minutes or so get your calls and texts in, 855-616-1620. It's the Fix It Show on WTMJ.
What are we doing today?
One of the employee owners has an idea.
Who is it?
Casey Goodson.
Well, hi, you must be Casey Goodson.
That's me. Casey has been with Kessler's for 22 years and became an owner 12 years ago.
We're excited to hear your idea, Casey.
I call it the One Collection.
But we've had special collections in the past.
What are you saying?
Casey, I think Rick is saying that this can't be the one collection because we've offered special collections in the past.
I'm not saying it's the first collection. It's a special collection of engagement rings for the woman that you know is the one. The one for you. The one forever. What's in it? Incredibly special rings for incredibly special women.
How much?
Most of them are between $725 and $2,800. I like it.
I like it.
Me too.
When you have found the one, you'll find her ring waiting patiently for you to come and pick it up at Kessler's.
For the location of the Kessler's nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
There's an amazing supper club in Wisconsin Dells, Ish Nala, nestled among the pines and perched above the sandstone bluffs of Mirror Lake. The beauty, the history, the service, the food, the fun. Hi, this is Bob Prosser, owner of Ish Nala Supper Club in Wisconsin Dells. I've been a part of Ish Nala since 1973, and I am so proud to continue the tradition that began in 1953. Why not enjoy a brandy old-fashioned in one of our bars, each with a spectacular view overlooking Mirror Lake, or just relax before or after dinner on one of our outdoor decks. Our Ish Nala chefs have prepared your favorites: 24-ounce ribeye, cold water lobster tails, North Atlantic salmon, and of course, Ish Nala's roast duck. Thank you for making Ish Nala Wisconsin's favorite supper club, where the only thing we overlook is Mirror Lake. I'm Bob Prosser, and I want to serve you.
There's a reason people sold to Grandview Homes instead of using a real estate agent.
We needed to sell Mom's home quickly and with a company we could rely on.
No showings, no closing costs, no added stress.
Visit GrandviewHomes.com to discover the easiest and fastest way to sell a home.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we get you outdoors because we get you. Whether you're headed across town or across the country, we get you tires and batteries, trust and care during our summer tire sale. Right now, select tires, buy 3, get 1 free. Rewards members get an extra $25 instant savings on any set of 4. New Blaine's brand windshield wash, $2.49 a gallon. Fram oil filters, 15% off for rewards members. And Meguiar's exterior spray finishes, $10.99. Tires and batteries, trust and care at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
The world's greatest aviation celebration comes to Oshkosh on July 22nd through the 28th with daily air shows featuring spectacular aerobatic performances, unique aircraft, and some of the fastest military jets around. You'll see it all at AirVenture. And don't forget, kids 18 and under are free of charge, thanks in part to the Boeing Company. Get your tickets now at eaa.org/tickets. Act fast. Early bird pricing for EAA AirVenture Oshkosh has been extended through June 30th. It's a great part of our Wisconsin summer. It's EAA AirVenture Oshkosh.
Need advice? Call 855-616-1620. Our expert home inspector is here to help. It's the Fix-It Show on WTMJ.
This is definitely a show David is going to at American Family Amphitheater tonight.
It's on my list.
SZA. 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 All right, let's go to the phones. Jeff from Gatish Foundation Company on with us this hour, 855-616-1620. Alan in Mayville, what's your question?
We're going to be building a cottage in northern Wisconsin, and our builder is going to do the pour for the slab. It's going to be a 20 by 30-foot slab, and he's talking either 1 inch or 1.5 inch insulation underneath the pour. Is that enough? I've been hearing stories that maybe you want to go 2 inches. What's your feeling on that?
I have no idea. That's not a question. What you're doing is frost is driven down. And what you're doing is you're insulating so the frost doesn't drive under and lift your foundation. I'm assuming that's the reason for insulating. Or you're putting in hydronic heat of some kind, which is forcing the heat back into the house. But, boy, I'd be lying if I told you I had any clue.
Yeah, I've never heard of it.
I would say that's a code issue that we do have to insulate our foundations. And if you want, you can very easily search our Wisconsin's building code. If you just type into a search WIUDC and then just type in the words foundation insulation after that, the Wisconsin Uniform Dwelling Code, it'll pull up the section that talks about that. So it's pretty simple to find, so you can look that up. I don't know the exact number either. I know it's required. I don't know how much. You could probably increase it, but there's going to be a minimum.
Okay. All right. Well, you've been very helpful, and
you're welcome.
Thank you for your time today.
Right. Thanks for listening, Alan. Have a good day. 855-616-1620 is the WTMJ Talking text line. And so things that people can do on their own that they should be doing on a regular basis. Is it once a year, every 6 months? What should I be doing in my basement to make sure everything's okay?
Well, I'm just going to go or start to finish. I think you need to go and look first. I think the first thing you do is you take 10 minutes out of your life and go look at your basement. And when you find issues, and again, the whole house really, but we'll talk about the basement. If you see a crack in the wall, take a picture of it. If it's wide and, maybe stick a quarter in it so you can kind of get the distance, put a tape measure up there. If you don't have a time date camera, hold a newspaper up to it if people still get the newspaper.
I was going to say, what's that?
Your
cell phone.
It's all about documentation of what you do. So if you see efflorescence on the floor, if you see cracking in the corner, anything like that, document it and take pictures of it. Then the next thing you need to do is you want to monitor it. Monitoring means you can't go look at a basement in February and then go look at it in July and expect it to be the same way. There's a good possibility that as the expansion, contraction of clay soil is happening, that the cracks they'll actually open and they will close. Mm-hmm. So if you go, it's all gone. No, it's coming back. But, the point is that if you can document in 10 years that the crack hasn't gotten any worse or the movement of the wall hasn't gotten any worse, the standards are very specific. If you can show no additional movement in 10 years, it's not moved. You don't need to fix it. Repairing a wall, crack means a crack was there. It doesn't mean if you put some caulk in it that there's no longer a crack. If you put caulk in it, you can also chip out and tug point a crack to monitor. If it doesn't reopen, it probably hasn't moved. You cannot caulk a crack. You cannot use an expandable product to put inside of a crack and think it's not going to move, because it's going to expand and you won't know it.
Right.
So don't do a homeowner fix and just go. You're better off to leave it without fixing it than taking your finger and jamming some caulk in it. And again, there's a lot of times that if the homeowners are telling me the truth and they would have had documentation, I would give that foundation a clean bill of health. Without documentation, me and you are going to visit, and I'll probably end up doing some work for you.
All right. We have to take our final break. More questions coming up next. WTMJ Talking Text Line 855-616-1620. You can check them out at gaidish.com, GAIDISH.com. It is a Fix-It show on WTMJ.
WTMJ's John Mercure here. Join me as we count down to the RNC in Milwaukee. We'll talk to the biggest names across the political landscape.
It's going to be Donald Trump's convention, right? I mean, he's the nominee, so he will probably, and his team, have a lot of say on what the messaging will be.
Full podcast available on WTMJ.com, or text RNC to the Old National Bank Talk and Text line, 855-616-1620, and get a link sent directly to you. It's the countdown to the RNC podcast, only here on WTMJ.
Eric Brown and his crew from Siding Unlimited can fix whatever's wrong with the outside of your house. How do you know what's wrong with it? Well, look for these trouble signs. On your windows, paint peeling, wood rot or damage from condensation? How well do they operate? Got mold on the storm windows? Siding have any dents, holes, or chips, paint or color issues? Is the caulking cracked? How's the flashing? Roof look okay? How about your doors? Decks are another place for critical inspection. Maybe you'd just like to have a new one. Eric is a regular here on the Fix-It Show. You regular listeners are aware of his expertise. He's president of Siding Unlimited, but that's not a desk job. He's out there working with the crews, inspecting people's structure problems and fixing them. Siding Unlimited will fix yours too. Make a note to contact Siding Unlimited online at sidingunlimited.com, or see Siding Unlimited's unique outside-in showroom near Gerke's Corners in Brookfield.
This is Richard Salinas, registered nurse with Rejuvenex Arthritis Clinics, and I want to talk about exactly what we do. When you come here, you're going to get 2 shots with 2 very small needles. One will be a medication called Toradol, which is a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory, completely different from a standard steroid or cortisone injection. This medication is safe and a great pain reliever. The other will be hyaluronic acid, which is a naturally occurring fluid found in all of our joints. What hyaluronic acid does is it helps recoat the inside surfaces to provide cushioning and lubrication. It helps slow down the osteoarthritis process to a point where patients may not need surgery. All of this, combined with using our state-of-the-art Ultra G machine developed by NASA, has produced profound results. What we do works. And the best part about this is that insurance covers most of our patients' treatments. Go to Rejuvenex.com to request your free pain evaluation.
Rose Gray here from Fox World Travel. Don't miss the largest vacation sale in the nation. It's the Fox World Travel exclusive July sale with Apple Vacations. Plus, enter for a chance to win a trip for 2. Visit foxworldtravel.com/July. That's foxworldtravel.com/July.
Gaidish Foundation, founded in 1977, is proudly serving southeast Wisconsin. If you see movement, cracks in basement walls, seepage, or staining on the bottom of your basement walls, you may have a basement issue. Gaidish prides themselves on being very good at what they do. They come to your home and educate you on what you see, and they discuss your options moving forward. Over 90% of their jobs are done through referrals. They will give you an honest opinion of the condition of your basement. Call Gaidish, GAI-DISH, at 414-282-1800, or go to gaidish.com.
Did somebody say free diamond bracelet? That's right. Diamonds Direct is expanding upon their best offer yet. Make any purchase this month and receive a free diamond tennis bracelet valued at $2,000. That's right. Any engagement ring, any diamond necklace, any timepiece. Purchase any item valued at $10,000 or more and receive a stunning diamond tennis bracelet at no extra cost. Every purchase of $10,000 or more qualifies. So hurry into Diamonds Direct. Your chance to get a free tennis bracelet ends June 30th. Details at diamondsdirect.com.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
David Nason and Dayton King. It's the Fix-It Show on WTMJ.
Good morning to you. It is going to be rainy kind of throughout the day, especially tonight. Some storms rolling in. And so if you're planning on going to Summerfest to hear that band, Humphreys McGee, which I've never even heard of. That's what I love about Summerfest. You can go see free stages because they're on the Miller Lite Oasis, and you can find new bands that you never knew about. And it's like, oh, I like that. So we are in our final segment here with Jeff Ellsworth from Gatish Foundation Company. So tell us a little bit again about what happens when I call your phone number. First of all, what is the phone number?
Okay, so I'll just go through the process. 414-282-1800. From 7 to 5, our phones are manned by human beings. You'll either talk to Bonnie, you'll talk to Kathy, or talk to my son Eric, and they'll answer the phone. They will set up someone to come and look at your basement. What I specify when our people, whether it be me, John, or Blaine, come look at your basement, we will educate you on your basement. And if we deem something needs to be written up, or if something, we will have that to you within 2 days. Normally the next morning, but if it's complicated, or if we need to send you an engineer, if we need to send you for a drain tile test. Just one quick thing, because I know we're running out of time, but I'm a firm believer you should never let a contractor test your drain tile. I think you should have an independent person test your drain tile, because I don't think you should let a wolf in the hen house. So at the end of the day, a lot of times if there's, window wells need augering or anything like that, we have a list of people that do that. But you call the office, we have someone come out and see. We're right now, hopefully we can get out within a week or two, but I do leave some time spots open in case of emergencies for, homes that are being sold, and there's a deadline. Of course, we have to meet deadlines. We have a big enough staff that, again, knock on wood, I've never missed a deadline yet, and I hope I never do. But we will give you an honest opinion of your basement, and we'll educate you on your basement, and then what you do moving forward will be up to you.
All right. We do have one final question on the text line. It says, is a poured basement wall the same? Do they have the same problems as a block wall?
No. Poured basement walls it's a unit. It has rebar in it.
Monolithic.
It's a monolithic type unit. The problem is, real quickly, it's a different type of repair. So most of the time we see in you have these little cracks, and there's the problems if there's no separation and it's just a hairline crack, it's a shrinkage crack. That's no big deal. When they leak is when you have a problem, and there's 2 ways to repair it. The way we repair it, which I wouldn't suggest doing, I would suggest the easier option. We excavate on the outside, waterproof the wall. Epoxy, they call it epoxy injection, although it's not really epoxy. It's polyurethane injected. They inject the wall. It expands into the crack and seals the moisture. So poured walls, if they're done properly, are obviously much stronger than block walls, and that's why even block walls nowadays, they're core filling with rebar and cement to make them closer to a poured wall.
Right.
So a poured wall is a stronger wall. We can't use a weep system on a poured wall. There's a lot of different repairs on a poured wall, and they have to be looked at with that in mind. And we know both.
Awesome. Nice to have you on the show.
Yeah, it's been great.
Thanks for all the information we got from you today. Gatish.com is a website, GAIDISH.com. Coming in next, Scott Klein and the crew from J&B Construction.
This has been the Fix-It Show on WTMJ, presented by J&B Construction and Siding Unlimited. Advice and opinions expressed during the program are solely that of the hosts or guests, and not WTMJ Radio or Good Karma Brands Milwaukee, LLC.
If you want to make your home more maintenance-free, rely on J&B Construction. Whether it's roofing, siding, windows, or doors, J&B Construction has been a provider of high-quality exterior home improvement products and services since 1958. When working with J&B, you'll find superior products that have exceptional overall durability, outstanding insulating properties, and offer improved security. Installed by J&B's certified employees, your home will experience decades of performance and beauty. At J&B, the objective is for skilled trade staff, sales staff to educate clients, assisting them in their selections and making the process enjoyable. In addition to helping to choose the best products, J&B considers the home's architectural style and surroundings to enhance curb appeal. For a complimentary evaluation of your home's exterior, call J&B at 262-437-0537 or visit jnbconstruction.com. Scott and Tim are on the show here in the next hour, so call in then. Remember, your home can be more maintenance-free when you rely on J&B.
Why'd the kid jump off the boat?
I don't know. Why?
Peer pressure.
Oh. Good one, Ned.
Ned isn't funny, but Ned owns a boat, and you don't. So every time Ned tells another one of his unfunny boat puns, you're going to laugh loud and keep on laughing until you get a boat of your own.
A pier where you put a boat.
Yeah, I get it.
And when you do get a boat of your own, make sure you save money by bundling it with your home, auto, or other vehicles with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Every business faces challenges, but complicated, expensive, and uncertain shipping shouldn't be one of them.
With USPS Ground Advantage from the United States Postal Service, you can avoid all the noise.
No more unexpected surcharges, hidden fees, or complex rate structures.
It's just easy, cost-effective, and dependable shipping. Tune your business's frequency to success and turn shipping to your advantage. Learn how at USPS.com/advantage. USPS Ground Advantage. Simple, affordable, reliable.
Stay up to date with your trusted and relevant source in news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
Just after 8 o'clock, it's 68 degrees and mostly cloudy in Milwaukee. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Jack Grau. Large wildfires have devastated small towns in New Mexico. Fire evacuees in New Mexico describe a terrible scene.
It's sporadic. One home is there, and then 3 homes are gone, and then 2 homes are there, and then 4 homes are gone. It's just so bizarre. It's so strange.
Hundreds of homes have been destroyed. At least 2 people are known to be dead. The acting superintendent of Milwaukee Public Schools speaking out for the first time since he was tapped for the job. Eduardo Galvin has worked in MPS for more than 3 decades. He tells TMJ4 News one of the things he wants to improve during his time in the role is communication.
When people ask a question and the response isn't understood, maybe to get some feedback on that so that we're better able to communicate that.
On Tuesday, MPS's board of directors are having a special meeting where they will consider possible action on the appointment of an interim superintendent. No names of candidates have yet been released. It's a flurry of activity at Pfizer Forum as preparations reach their final stage for the RNC. 2024 Republican National Convention CEO Elise Dickens tells Wisconsin's Afternoon News there's one more big logistical mystery when Donald Trump wants to announce his pick for vice president.
We don't know what he's ultimately decided. You know, it has to happen before we gavel in on Monday. So really, in terms of the rules, we just need to know before we gavel in who it's going to be, and then we can execute it. So not sure his final plans on when he wants to roll out that decision, but we will be prepared.
The RNC runs from July 15th to 18th. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Siding Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 8:03.
Outdoor living is great, but it's best when it's at your own home. Well, there's a company called Outdoor Living Unlimited that will build you a deck, a patio, pergola, fire pit, all manner of things to enhance outdoor living at your place, even an outdoor kitchen. Get started right away. Contact Outdoor Living Unlimited now. Get your yard project onto Outdoor Living Unlimited's calendar while there's still openings. OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
Many people with unique homes reach out to Pella because our team of experts can customize windows and doors that match architecture from any era.
I love that I have a home that is 100 years old. It's a historic district, and we didn't want to ruin the look by having modern windows in an older home. When I found out that Pella had an architecturally accurate product line, they simply guided us and helped us to make a great decision for our home.
Order today and get 0% interest for up to 36 months at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Certain restrictions apply at 6/30/2024.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for J.D. Griffiths. It was time for us. Our house was 20 plus years old, and the garage doors were getting dated. They were dinged up, and they were really hurting the value and the look of our house. That's why we called J.D. Griffiths, a local company. They've been at it in Milwaukee for more than 70 years, providing premier garage doors and building detached garages. We've got our new doors now, and they pop. I still got neighbors talking to me about it. Now, J.D. Griffiths does have an exclusive offer right now for you, the WTMJ listener. With any purchase of a new garage door, you can save $100 on your garage door opener. Just call 414-362-7222 and mention me, WTMJ's Eric Bilstead, or fill out the form at jdgriffiths.com/WTMJ to schedule your free at-home estimate and claim your deal. That number again, 414-362-7222. J.D. Griffiths.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. Sports Desk. The Brewers 0-2 against the San Diego Padres this series, taking a 9-5 loss last night. They'll try to prevent a sweep tonight with Game 3. First pitch at 6:15 with WTMJ's coverage starting at 5. Taking a look at your roads with your Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic. Got some incidents across the Milwaukee traffic system that we are keeping an eye on. In downtown Milwaukee at 794 East at Van Buren Street, that right shoulder blocked due to a disabled vehicle. Right near there, 43 North at Fond du Lac Avenue, the two left lanes blocked due to a crash. Staying in that south central part of the county on 894 North, just beyond 43, those right lanes blocked due to a crash there. And near Menominee Falls at 45 South at Appleton Avenue, that right shoulder blocked due to a crash. And your WTMJ 5-day forecast, getting a high of 83 by the lake, but 90 degrees if you're near the Illinois state line. Storms likely again in the evening, 1 to 2 inches of rain possible, getting down to a low of 67 this evening. On Sunday, a high of 77 with a slight chance of evening showers. Monday, to start the week, a high of 80 degrees, and it'll be sunny and staying warm. On Tuesday, a high of 90. Big jump there with a chance of showers and storms. Wednesday, a high of 82 and mostly sunny conditions. In Madison, it's 73 degrees and mostly cloudy. Green Bay, 63 degrees with rain coming down. Waukesha, 68 degrees and mostly cloudy. Right here in Milwaukee, 68 degrees and mostly cloudy again. Breaking news, stories you care about, full show podcasts, and more. It's the place to go when you need to know. WTMJ.com and the WTMJ mobile app. I'm Jack Grau, citing unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 8:07.
This is the Fix-It Show on WTMJ. Advice and opinions expressed during the program are solely that of the hosts or guests, and not WTMJ Radio or Good Karma Brands Milwaukee, LLC. When it comes to home repairs, we could all use a guy. Well, we've got the guy, and we've got the show. For all your home improvement questions, we've got answers. This is the Fix-It Show on WTMJ, presented by J&B Construction and Siding Unlimited. Now, here's your host, Dayton Kane and David Nason.
Welcome to hour number 2. If you missed the first hour, you can always find the Fix-It Show podcast on Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcasts. We are joined by new guests. David, why don't you introduce everybody?
Yes, well, one person I've known for quite some time, Scott Klein, owner of J&B Construction, and Tim Comerford, production manager?
Yep, production manager, a little bit of everything.
J&B Construction.
Trades.
Yes. Welcome to the show, guys. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah.
So we like to do it. Tell us what you guys do, where you service.
Well, we're the greater Milwaukee area. J&B's been around. This is our 67th year. And we have our third generation involved with J&B. We're roofing, siding, cutting back on windows a little bit, but still doing a few. And
We do a lot of flat work, and we have a custom sheet metal shop, so we can do some custom copper stuff. So a whole bunch of different things going on, and usually things that encompass the exterior of the home.
Right. And it's been a little wet this year. How has that affected things that you guys are working on?
It's been challenging. You look at the weather at 6 in the morning and figure out what you're going to try to do, and they're calling about stuff coming in, and you don't know if it's going to come in or not. And it's been challenging, but we've been very successful, with the weather, I think. It's been good for us as far as bringing in work, but it's been challenging as far as us getting work done.
Especially a roof.
Yeah, exactly. So, and tear-offs, everything's almost always a tear-off today, but our crews have been making the right calls, and we've been getting things done. And, there's complications of having to do gutter work right after you're doing the roof. So you got the liability of a house without gutters on it potentially, or scheduling it properly. My daughter, Allie, takes care of all the scheduling. She's really been doing a good job with that and keeping things in line, and everything's been getting backed up. Every week we're backed up a little bit, and you try to give consumers an idea on when you're going to start and how things are going to go, and then Mother Nature comes in and changes your schedule. So
right.
Well, and when we get rain now, it's not a little bit.
Yeah.
This rain we've been getting this spring has been torrential almost every time. It's
right.
crazy.
So there. Last I heard, and maybe it's changed now, it's been the third wettest spring in Wisconsin. But I also heard the other night, I think from Mark Baden, that we're on a run here. Every month this year has been above average.
Yes.
Temperature-wise,
so
we're on pace for probably the warmest year. I don't know. It might be not true, but it's been a warm year. But that might have something to do with it. It's just the temperature, because that's another thing you have to deal with when it's not raining. It's been hot.
It's been a lot of heat and wind, and it just as of lately with the heat. And the wind, it's been exceptionally windy too. So it's been challenging for us, but trying to keep pace with the customers and let them know what's going on, and trying to fit in all the individual applications of the projects. You have your sheet metal work that goes along with chimney flashings and so forth. That's got to coordinate with your roof job. You got flat work that's coordinating with some roof jobs. We have gutter work that's coordinating with some roof jobs. So scheduling is important, and having to work around Mother Nature makes it a little more challenging.
So Allie's doing the ordering and everything, but the guy next to you, Tim, he's dealing with the schedule that you're talking about, right?
Well, Allie and I both work together with the schedule.
Okay.
She really leads out probably the main scheduling portion of it, and then I try to work everything into it. And it's been a little bit challenging. Along with the weather, the heat, the humidity, the crews have to slow down a little bit. They got to be kind of conscientious of their health hydrated as well, and so it pushes you back a little bit, but we've been fortunate the guys put in the extra time when the weather's nice, and been getting the jobs done.
The old saying, make hay when the sun's shining.
Make hay while the sun shines.
Yeah, definitely.
Need to throw a thank you out there to all those installers that are working out in the field, because it is not a easy job, especially when the weather's been the way it has.
You got to appreciate what they do and what they go through, and it takes a special person to be able to have that skill set, and then along with it, the mindset to be able to push through these days when it's real hot or even cold.
Mm-hmm, definitely.
All right.
I don't want to talk about cold.
So
no, not yet.
If it's on the outside of the house, they can probably answer questions on it. WTMJ Talk and Text line is 855-616-1620. Scott and Tim from J&B Construction on with us this hour. It is a Fix-It Show on WTMJ.
The biggest names in the basketball world.
Dame Dollar Lillard.
Having fun and honest conversations.
He puts it in the shoe, right? And sets the tone for brothers and sisters and family.
Every week, Thanasis Adetokounmpo sits down with special guests on Thanalysis Show. Presented by Carbless ready-to-drink cocktails.
Fantastic.
Find Thanalysis Show on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts. And on YouTube by searching Thanalysis Show.
How does 1.9% 66-month financing plus a $2,000 factory flex buy bonus cash sound on a new 2023 Ford F-150? Hi, I'm Susan Hiller, and that is just one of the special offers this month at Hiller Ford. If a pre-owned vehicle is in your plans, well, you're in luck. To celebrate our 70-year anniversary, we are including a 2-year maintenance plan on every one of our pre-owned vehicles. Stop in and see why so many people love to buy from Hiller Ford.
The following takes place outside of the Capitol Heating, Cooling, and Electric headquarters.
I don't know, but Mama said you're inhaling particulates. If you don't clean out your ducts, you will be fresh out of luck. And air, clean air, healthy air.
Jason, what is happening?
Merle's really whipping the crew into shape.
You know he's a squirrel, right?
Seth, people throughout history have respected leaders of all kinds.
Like Squirrel Alexander the Great.
You know, I think you're underestimating him.
Really?
Watch.
Capital cleans your ducts with high-powered trucks.
Because Capital believes you deserve to breathe clean, healthy air.
We destroy bacteria and annihilate allergies.
He's making them do push-ups.
Yeah.
Huh.
See?
If you haven't had a duct cleaning in 5 years, schedule your Capital duct cleaning today at callcapitalcares.com.
There's an amazing supper club in Wisconsin Dells, Ish Nala, nestled among the pines and perched above the sandstone bluffs of Mirror Lake. The beauty, the history, the service, the food, the fun. Hi, this is Bob Prosser, owner of Ish Nala Supper Club in Wisconsin Dells. I've been a part of Ish Nala since 1973, and I am so proud to continue the tradition that began in 1953. Why not enjoy a brandy old-fashioned in one of our bars, each with a spectacular view overlooking Mirror Lake, or just relax before or after dinner on one of our outdoor decks. Our Ish Nala chefs have prepared your favorites: 24-ounce ribeye, cold water lobster tails, North Atlantic salmon, and of course, Ish Nala's roast duck. Thank you for making Ish Nala Wisconsin's favorite supper club, where the only thing we overlook is Mirror Lake. I'm Bob Prosser, and I want to serve you.
Hi, I'm Susan Hiller from Hiller Ford. Do you want to catch a great deal on one of our remaining 2023 vehicles? Well, we have 28 in stock, including those hard-to-find Ford Super Duties. We have a great selection, but we plan on moving them out fast. We have special pricing on every single one of them. We also want your trade-in, so we're willing to give you top dollar for it. Why don't you stop in today? Check out our deals and find out why so many people love to buy from Hiller Ford.
Get her done. It's the Fix-It Show on WTMJ.
Good morning, 8:16. Going to be raining on and off. Big storms rolling through tonight. A high of 83 near the lake, 90 if you're further south near the Illinois-Wisconsin border. So be ready for that. That was Dawes playing in the background. They're going to be at the Briggs & Stratton Big Backyard stage at 10 o'clock tonight at Summerfest, which officially kicked off on Thursday.
Yeah, it might be a little wet down there.
Could be. Wear a rain jacket or just plan on dancing in the rain. Yeah.
Or a swimming suit.
Yeah, there you go.
Scott, a swimming. Hey, I didn't think about that. You could do that. Scott and Tim here from J&B Construction. We're talking about water and heat and all this stuff, not just in the forecast, but how that's affecting our homes as we're looking at things. Last hour, when we were talking to our foundation specialist, he talked about an incident versus an issue. Is that such a thing when it comes to roofing or siding?
It can be to some extent, but when we get extreme weather like we've been getting, and your roof is older, if your roof is 20 years or older, you can expect some of these. And when you get the extreme weather, it challenges that older roof system. It challenges the flashing details. It challenges installation practices of how that roof was put on. And so that's your first indication of people, having leaks. Mm-hmm. So, it can be an incident or it can be the sign that you need to do some replacements. But we've been chasing a lot of leaks on projects that we didn't have anything to do with, that people are calling us on. The contractor's no longer in business. They don't get a return phone call, whatever the situation is. And every call we get, it's always a roof leak. But a lot of times we'll go there and it could be a window leak, could be a siding leak, could be a flashing leak. But everybody says, well, my roof is leaking. And we're seeing a lot of situations where there's poor installation practices and poor detail along with that roof system, especially on flat roofs too, where, the details are what's going to really make or break the longevity of that system, and it's really going to make or break the waterproofness of that system also.
I think about Oconomowoc, Jackson, Oak Creek, we've had all these major hailstorms, and all these roofing contractors rolled in from out of state and put on all these roofs. What do you think it's going to be like in 2-3 years from now when you think your phone's going to be ringing?
It already is.
Like,
they don't.
Mine too.
Nobody's calling them back.
Yeah.
They can't get a hold of anybody. So who do they call?
Somebody local.
Yeah. You've been around for 67.
This is our 67th year.
67 years. You're going to be here next year.
Yeah.
You're going to be here the year after. And then you're like, well, sorry, we don't necessarily fix roofs all the time.
You can though.
You can.
Yeah, we have a crew that goes out and does repairs and so forth. They've been extremely busy.
I was
going to
say they gotta be busy. Yeah.
And some companies won't do any repairs, and stuff. So, there's been a big call for that, and you get out there and you see some of the detail, and consumers just don't know. They don't,
well, especially on the roof, because they don't go up there.
Most people,
you're not going to go up and inspect your own roof when it's done.
Suggesting people go on your roof. It's if that's not something you do, it's not safe.
Right. Yeah.
Well, and they just don't have the knowledge of what they're looking at either. With what's going on. And there's so many times, with our camera systems that we use on our phones and stuff, where we can take pictures and it goes to Foremans and it goes to our computers and stuff automatically, where we can share that with consumers. I was on talking with a lady yesterday, and it was a flat roof out the back of the house. It was an addition. The roof was 20 years old, and she was having a leak problem right where the addition tied into the wall.
Of course.
And that was more of a siding issue than it was anything else. I went up on the flat roof. It had a fiberboard underneath. The fiberboard gets soft when it gets wet. It was soft about a foot out all the way along the wall line for the most part, and there wasn't any deficiencies in the rubber itself. So, you have to explain to them this is a siding issue. And it was done 20-some years ago. There was no house wrap underneath or no waterproof underlayment underneath there. So, that's what it is. So there's no way a consumer is going to understand that unless a knowledgeable contractor explains it to them.
Right, and that's part of what you're probably doing a lot, Tim, is when you're doing the job, you're explaining that stuff to
you try and educate the customer what's going on and why we're doing it and the process. And obviously, the older homes don't have the systems that we put in place now. When we do the work siding, you got the Tyvek, you got the flashing tapes, you got the flashings, and it's all so important. And we do see so many issues right now coming in with the rain. You get some driving rain. I never had water here before, and you got a box window, and all of a sudden it's dripping in, and automatically they think, well, the window's leaking. Not necessarily.
Right.
It could be the flashing up above. It could be a siding issue. So the time has to be put in to diagnose where that water's coming in and try and come up with some resolve.
Exactly. I had somebody contact me yesterday that my window's leaking. I got water they're in a condo building. And I said, well, it's probably not your window. It's probably the opening, or it might be the window above your window at the sill of the window and coming in around there and getting behind the wall. There's a stone veneer on the building, so it's probably leaking.
And that's what you're saying, educating the customer on what's going on, and it's not necessarily what they think. Take everything for face value. There's a lot more to it. Sure. And understanding the construction of the house helps as well. You have to have that knowledge.
Definitely.
855-616-1620. That's the WTMJ Talking text line. We have Scott and Tim on from J&B Construction this hour. Get your calls in. It's the Fix It Show on WTMJ.
Your basement. Ooh, wall cracks. Oh no, seepage. And stains on the bottom of those walls. Terrifying. The only thing scarier than basement issues are businesses that prey on your fear over those terrifying foundational cracks. The team at Gatish Foundation never uses high-pressure sales tactics. Over 90% of Gatish Foundation's jobs are through referrals. So, for an honest opinion on the condition of your basement, call Gatish Foundation today. Spelled G-A-I-Dish. Gatish.com.
Market volatility, global issues. We hear about inflation easing, but it's still a real issue.
more than a few headwinds this year. That's probably why Americans like you feel uncertain about their financial future. Just 59% of affluent Americans felt secure last year, and that's down from the year before. Boomers, not much room for error. Gen X might need more than a 401k. And for millennial families with big dreams, it's time to get real about saving and investing. Talk to Annex Wealth Management. Build security with a partner on your side for unbiased advice. Our goal is a plan that prepares you to maintain your desired lifestyle throughout retirement. Investments are a start, but you may need more. That's why Annex delivers tax and estate planning. There's an Annex plan personalized for you. Annex Comprehensive Wealth fits most individuals and families, but if you've got high net worth with complex needs, Annex Private Client is your solution. Just starting out? Annex Ignite is a great choice. Know the difference with Annex Wealth Management. Click the Get Started button at annexwealth.com.
Some of our customers want a glass shower door for the look. Some want it for a better use of their space, while others need a new glass shower door just to be safe. Like a customer we had last month. Her daughter had been hounding her to turn that old bathtub of hers into a walk-in shower. She was afraid her mother might slip when there was no one around to help her. Stepping over that bathtub wall isn't exactly safe, and besides, those old bathtub floors can be kind of slippery too. Installing a new glass shower door is pretty affordable, and not only is it safer, but it also gives your bathroom a great new look. And when you stop in our showroom, you'll see just how many options we have to give you the look you want. This is Stacy Sinks with Less's Glass Service, and glass and mirrors have been our business for over 35 years. So if it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Less's Glass. Less's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lessglassservice.com.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik here to tell you about my friends over at the Hounds and Tap in Menominee Falls. It's a state-of-the-art facility and the ultimate hangout for hounds and humans. Grab a drink at the tavern, meet others while your pup enjoys the dog park. That's a mud-free dog park, by the way. Fun, happy, clean, and a great environment for everyone. The Hounds and Tap also provides doggy daycare, boarding, and professional grooming services. We take our Greyhound there regularly. Learn more about their services. Check out thehoundsandtap.com. That's thehoundsandtap.com.
Advice you can use. It's the Fix-It Show on WTMJ.
Should know that one. The Goo Goo Dolls are going to be at the BMO Pavilion tonight at Summerfest. Make sure you head out and get some music going
That one
tonight.
I know.
You do know that one.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm so proud of you, David.
Right.
David Nason, Dayton Kane
I'm stuck
here.
in the 80s. I'm sorry,
Hey, there's nothing
80s,
wrong with
90s,
that.
yeah.
There's some good music back then. Scott and Tim from J&B Construction on with us this hour, 855-616-1620, the WTMJ talk and text line. Let's go to Robert in Oconomowoc. Good morning, Robert. What's your question?
Good morning. I had some roofing done and siding, and where the dormer sits down on the garage roof, going up the angle, the J-channel looks very wavy, and it's butted up against each end, and it also butts up against the window trim that comes down onto the roof. And the trim had changed at that time, and it's sitting right on the roof, and the J-channel stops where that trim is. And I'm wondering, and we did find a leak early this spring, and I've had them out and fixed somewhat. They did some caulking, which I'm not pleased with. But I'm just wondering, is that J-channel, if I read some books on it, that it's supposed to be overlapped as it goes up? Is that correct?
So everything that is installed on your house, if there's multiple pieces and things, everything should be installed in a what's called shingle style. So you start at the bottom and then you go up. So anything if there's a seam and everything, it should overlap to the point where it allows water to drain off or down. So water can't get behind something. So if I'm understanding what you're saying, yes, that would be correct. The J-channel should also be up off the shingles a little bit. I don't know if it's an inch, but at least there should be a clearance so water can drain properly. The fact that it's wavy is probably because it's too long. Vinyl expands and contracts quite a bit in the sunshine, and so when it's getting warm, it's expanding, and now it can't, and it's nailed in place. Maybe it's nailed too tightly
Right.
also, and then it can't expand and contract properly. So it sounds like there's a few things going on there.
There's really no way to analyze that over a
the
phone call. And quite honestly, one of the most important things for me when we install our siding systems is what we do underneath the siding. I don't care what kind of siding people use, whether it's vinyl or a composite or it's wood. It's your house wrap and your flashing details and how it ties into the step flashing on the shingles in that area could be a problem. There's a lot of things you can't see, once the siding's done, but basically, once the house wrap is on and it's taped and everything's tied in, and we're a certified installer with Tyvek, so we use their weatherization system, your house is waterproof at that point in time.
Right.
If they're throwing caulk at things, there's something, in my opinion, would be wrong underneath prior to the siding being installed.
Yes, a roofing siding company to come out when you have a leak or a problem or something to caulk. The old adage, and I hope you sense my sarcasm, a little caulk is good, a lot of caulk is better. That it does not work. I mean, as you just said, that the house wrap and the tapes and the flashings, that's what makes your house waterproof.
They're chasing something that was done incorrectly and without taking it apart. But if it's vinyl, it can come apart and you can look at it.
In vinyl, you really don't use as much caulk with a vinyl system.
No.
It's designed to be installed a certain way. It has to be installed properly. It has to kind of float on your house because of that expansion and contraction. So definitely got to take a look at what's going on.
And of all the sidings, that vinyl is probably the least "quote unquote" waterproof.
I would agree.
Little drain holes in it. I mean, they know what water's going to get behind it.
Yeah.
All right. Great question.
Yeah,
We
thanks for
would love
calling.
more. 855-616-1620 is the WTMJ talk and text line. We do have Scott and Tim from J&B Construction on with us this hour, but now it's time to take a break over to the WTMJ Breaking News Center with Jack Grau. Welcome, Jack.
Hey, good morning. Life in prison plus 40 years of confinement and observation. That was the sentence for Gary Davis of Fond du Lac after being found guilty in the killing of Jacqueline Rooney in 2022. Davis was found guilty of first-degree intentional homicide, mayhem, and hiding a corpse. Davis has maintained that he is innocent. The Associated Press reporting that the president of the Teamsters Union is set to speak at the Republican National Convention here in Milwaukee. Former President Trump saying on social media that Sean O'Brien had accepted his invitation to address delegates next month. Blue-collar workers are likely to play a major role in the general election. And University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee plans to sell its oldest, smallest residence hall as a cost-saving measure. The university purchased Purin Hall near Kenwood and Downer in 1963 and used it as a residence hall until its closure in 2023 after a feasibility study determined it wouldn't be cost-effective to do major renovations needed to continue operations. Taking a look at your roads with your Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic. Still some areas we're keeping an eye on here across the Milwaukee traffic system, especially near downtown Milwaukee. 43 North near Fond du Lac Avenue. The left two lanes are blocked due to a crash there. It's still close by. Sorry about that, folks. 794 East at Van Buren Street. That right shoulder blocked due to a disabled vehicle there. And then near Menominee Falls, 45 South at Appleton Avenue. That right shoulder blocked due to a crash.
Traffic is sponsored by Richlands Tire and Service Center.
Richlands Tire and Service Centers. 5 locations and all easy to find. Visit richlands.com when you're due for service.
And your WTMJ 5-day forecast, a high of 83 by the lake today, 90 degrees if you're by the Illinois state line. Storms likely again in the evening with 1 to 2 inches of rain possible, hitting a low of 67 this evening. On Sunday, a high of 77 with a slight chance of rain. Monday, a high of 80, sunny and warm to start the week. Tuesday, a chance of showers and storms again with a high of 90. Wednesday, high of 82. I'm Jack Grau, citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 8:32.
When I was little, I begged my mom for bangs.
Why?
Because of April.
The month?
April was a pretty girl in my second grade class with perfect bangs who everyone adored.
Ah.
The universe revolved around April.
Why is this bothering you now?
Because the new Vinny table at Penny Mustard reminds me of April.
How so?
From the minute Vinny hit the showroom floor, it's all anyone wants to talk about.
Of course. The Vinny table is awesome. Made in the USA with solid wood, extra durable conversion varnish, and your choice of stain and lumber.
And don't get me started on the violet upholstered side chairs.
Vinny and Violet, they're quite the couple.
I just feel bad for all the other tables because they're beautiful too.
Maybe they just need bangs.
Hey.
Come see the Vinny and Violet dining room, starting at $63.92 at Penny Mustard.
Showrooms in Milwaukee and Chicago.
PennyMustard.com. Better versions of what people want.
Penny Mustard Furnishing.
Your home can be more maintenance free when you rely on J&B.
This is Tom Feza. When I have a roofing question, I contact Scott Klein, owner of J&B Construction, provider of high-quality exterior home improvement products and services since 1958.
Thanks, Tom. Between the two of us, we've seen hundreds of failed roofs, along with the unfortunate consequences of water damage. Poor workmanship, improper product usage, lack of ventilation, inferior flashing detail, and loss of control due to subcontractors are some of the most common reasons for roofs failing. At J&B, our objective is not just to sell another roof. We want to educate our clients. When J&B's experienced sales staff achieves that goal, our roof systems sell themselves.
For a complimentary roof evaluation, call Scott at 262-437-0537 or visit jnbconstruction.com.
Your home can be more maintenance free when you rely on J&B.
Dayton and David. It's the Fix-It Show on WTMJ.
Good morning. Summerfest started on Thursday. Here Come the Mummies playing in the background. I love the name of that band. Here Come the Mummies. Who? What? Why? Anyway, Miller Oasis stage. You can catch them. We have Scott Klein and Tim Comerford. Sorry, I couldn't remember it. From J&B Construction on with us this hour. We are talking about roofing, siding, everything on the exterior of your home. They can probably help you out. How do people get in touch with you if they want you to come check something out for them?
You can go to our website at jmbconstruction.com. You're able to make an appointment right on the website if you want, or you can call our office at 262-437-0537, and Allie will set something up for somebody to come take a look.
Right. You mentioned at the beginning of the show you've stepped back a little bit from doing windows. There's a fairly important reason why.
Right. We're still doing some, quotes and following up with some jobs that are coming in, existing customers, or maybe it's an entire house system. We're trying to deal with that. But today is actually the 1-year anniversary where we had lost a key player in our company, John Wesky. He had passed away unexpectedly, and 1 year today. So when that happened, he headed out the entire window division, and it's been a big adjustment. And to have to, you can't just find somebody out there right off the bat. Hey, here's the knowledge that John had. You can't find that anywhere. So you have to be careful in who you bring in to do something to that magnitude. And so there's been some adjustments, and we had to slow things down a little bit because of that.
I didn't know John that well as you did, obviously, and I met him and everything. He was kind of one of those bigger than life type people.
Oh yeah, everybody knew John.
Yeah, and if you met him, you liked him.
He was your friend forever. Yeah, our customers.
Just a great guy. So a terrible loss.
Yeah, great
for
culture around our company.
Mm-hmm.
A fun guy too.
Right.
We spent times at some chicken wing places.
You couldn't pass one up if you were with John. He had to stop in. So
sure. Right.
John was in pretty good shape, but he wasn't like extremely overweight. He was a few pounds heavy, but he said if I could make a living eating, he says I'd be rich, and I would totally agree with that. So, but we miss him tremendously.
Sure. But you're still doing windows.
Still doing windows.
Yeah. Okay.
Just slowing things down a little bit.
All right.
855-616-1620 is the WTMJ talk and text line. If you have questions for Scott and Tim, now's the time to call in and ask ask away.
Yeah.
So when it comes, you got something there?
Well, we had another text about, it was back to roofing. Premium rubberized asphalt shingles versus metal shake look granular shingles. Which of those do you do? Any opinion on those?
Well, everybody's got opinion on different products, but I think what they're talking about when they say rubberized, it's just a SBS modified asphalt in with the shingle. That's proven to be very successful in a climate like we have, where we get extreme different weather changes. We get very cold temperatures and we get very hot temperatures. And the granule adhesion on the SBS shingles, is good. There's still the same warranty as the other shingles, and I think, warranties are somewhat confusing to consumers. We're Master Elite with GAF, which is the highest certification you can get with GAF. We can get people a 50-year non-prorated warranty. So, I'll say there's two trumped-up words in my industry, certified and lifetime warranty. Certified can mean a lot or mean nothing, and lifetime warranty can mean a lot or mean nothing. But as long as you're the original owner, it's a non-prorated with all the components, with every single warranty we give. If some people are concerned that we've only been in business for 67 years and if we're going to be around or not, they want to jump onto a warranty backed by the manufacturer, we can offer a 25 and a 30-year warranty backed by GAF. And GAF's been around 130 some years. They're family owned and operated also. So good company. I got a good rapport with all the people at GAF, just above, even above, local reps and stuff like that. So our experience with them is they've been very good in helping us. We've had only 2 consumer issues since I've been dealing with GAF for over 20 years. And, they stepped up and took care of the issue. So it's been a good experience, and people really need to understand what they're getting for a warranty, because I might say I'm giving them a 50-year warranty, and another company says, well, I'm giving you the same thing. But if ours is non-prorated and theirs is prorated, there's a huge difference.
Big difference.
And I'm 64, so I understand what 50 years is from now. So people think I'm trying to upsell them, but that's what shingles are now, 50-year shingles,
Sure.
And so with that being said, it transfers one time, and that's another benefit.
Mm-hmm.
So
and you got the next generation coming behind you running the company. So, the next 50 years that JB's still going to be around.
Right. And even when we do have, if there are issues out there with a registered warranty, if J&B wouldn't happen to be around, they would get another Master Elite to take care of those issues. And we've taken care of some warranty issues for contractors that aren't around anymore that were Master Elite at one time. GAF picks us to do those warranty work.
Right. And I was just going to say, Tim, you don't look like you're old enough to want to retire anytime soon, so you're hoping you're around for a long time.
I'm hoping I'm around for quite a while. I don't think we're going anywhere, and Allie and Austin are definitely stepping up, so there's definitely a future.
Awesome. We do have a phone call. Let's go to Chris in Illinois. Good morning, Chris. What's your question?
Morning, gentlemen. We have some hail damage on our roof. Had a hailstorm go through 6 weeks ago. We've got an adjuster and inspector coming to look at our roof today. And wanted to see if you guys had any pointers on how to approach this to make sure that we get this covered. Seems like sometimes the insurance companies can angle this thing where they want to minimize the damage. And we sure want to try to take advantage of this if we can.
Sure. Well, I would agree with everything you just said. You have to really fight for what your policy says you're supposed to get. And what I do with my customers, and we've dealt with a lot of hail here in southeastern Wisconsin area, is the adjuster that comes out might not even work for the company. They might just be a hired adjuster.
Independent adjuster.
Yep, and they're
That's exactly what they are.
Okay, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not knocking it. But they don't make any decisions. So having a contractor meet them there or you talking with them, they just have to go out and do their process to get paid for what they're supposed to be doing. And then it's going to go to the insurance person, and they'll make some decisions. And also to get a contractor that you trust, that's local, and have him review your report and make sure you're getting everything you're supposed to be getting. And we're very fortunate Tim's here today because he's got an insurance background. You got anything on this, Tim?
Yeah, and before they get out there, take a look at your property. There's all kinds of things in your yard that you can tell if you had significant hail damage. You can take a look at your AC unit, fencing, your mailbox, lawn furniture, your grill. Look for oxidation that's knocked off from the hail. Take a look at your siding. See if there's any, I don't know what type of siding you have, but
window well covers are a good sign too.
Window trim, window well covers. There's
gutter guards.
Those are all indicators that you had hail, and that's kind of what you have to do. You have to just justify that you had the hail and that there's significant damage that the insurance company is going to cover. I wouldn't say that insurance companies don't want to cover, but they have to protect their risk and what they're dealing with, and you just have to be patient and work with them. And also having a reputable contractor, like when we come in, we always try to assist our customers with that process because it is it gets a little tiring dealing with it sometimes. But you just have to do your due diligence to show, hey, I have hail damage,
but also understand your policy. Review your policy and know what's included in your policy, what you are entitled to.
And sometimes, sometimes your agent can help with that. That's what your agent's there for. Talk to them.
Sure.
They're your best advocate.
Now, standing and looking at the roof, I don't see, I can't see damage of any sort. I haven't been up on a ladder to look at it with the adjuster coming or the inspector coming. Should I do a self-assessment myself so I'm a little bit armed so I can point things out, or just let him do his thing?
All right, you guys, hold on. We're going to take a break, and we'll answer that when we come back because we got to get a commercial break in. Chris, thanks for the call. We'll address that on the backside of this. 855-616-1620 for the next one. It is a Fix-It show. We have J&B Construction on with us this hour on WTMJ.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for J.D. Griffiths. It was time for us. Our house was 20-plus years old, and the garage doors were getting dated. They were dinged up, and they were really hurting the value and the look of our house. That's why we called J.D. Griffiths, a local company. They've been at it in Milwaukee for more than 70 years, providing premier garage doors and building detached garages. We've got our new doors now, and they pop. I still got neighbors talking to me about it. Now, J.D. Griffiths does have an exclusive offer right now for you, the WTMJ listener. With any purchase of a new garage door, you can save $100 on your garage door opener. Just call 414-362-7222 and mention me, WTMJ's Eric Bilstead, or fill out the form at jdgriffiths.com/WTMJ to schedule your free at-home estimate and claim your deal. That number again, 414-362-7222. J.D. Griffiths.
Champagne's not as cheap as ginger ale, and you can't buy caviar for the same price as candy. But right now, you can buy the highest-end Beautyrest Black and Tempur-Pedic mattresses for nowhere near their highest-end prices. Hassellus Mattress is clearing out a handful of premium floor models. These mattresses are the best, and you can get them for way less. Like the Split King Tempur-Pedic Luxe Breeze in soft or firm was $10,198, now just $25,448. Or the Queen Beautyrest Black L-Class Firm was $26.99, but the floor model is just $13.49. Plus, save with massive markdowns on adjustable bases, starting at $287. It's like buying a Rolls Royce for $10,000 just because it sat on the showroom floor. Selection is limited. Only a few floor models are available at each Hassellus location, and when they're gone for good. Find a self-service, employee-free showroom near you at hassellus.com.
There's a reason people sold to Grandview Homes instead of using a real estate agent.
Very fair price. No real estate agent fees or closing costs.
Within weeks, we had closed and couldn't be happier.
Visit GrandviewHomes.com to discover the easiest and fastest way to sell a home.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano inviting you to spend New Year's at sea and offering you an amazing deal if you book the Vinny Cruise now. Join my family and me on Royal Caribbean's Wonder of the Seas, a Western Caribbean cruise leaving December 29th. Right now you can save up to $875 per person if you book through my partners, Expedia Cruises Brookfield. It's the only place you can get this deal right now. We'll stop in Mexico, Honduras, Royal Caribbean's private island in the Bahamas, and let's spend some time together. A welcome cocktail party for our group, dinner, a full group excursion on Roatan Island, a day of sloths, monkeys, zip lining, snorkeling, and a delicious local island-style lunch included. Our group from Wisconsin rings in the new year then together at sea. Enjoy Christmas here at home, and then let's set sail for the trip of a lifetime. Couples, bring the kids, or grandma and grandpa. How about bringing the entire family? Email me for more information from Expedia Cruises Brookfield. Vince at WTMJ.com. That's Vince at WTMJ.com.
If it needs fixing, we can help. It's the Fix It Show on WTMJ.
Good morning. Rain with showers throughout the day tonight. Storms rolling through 83 for a high at the lake, 90 further south. We're at 71 in Milwaukee. Dayton Kane, David Nason, and Scott and Tim from J&B Construction. We were talking to Chris before the break about, he asked, should I go on my roof and check so I know what I should be expecting from the adjuster when he comes out? No.
If you don't go on your roof regularly,
stay off the roof.
But you had a better
You
point
probably
to
don't
that,
know what
Tim.
you're looking for either.
Yeah, there's plenty of things on the ground that you can take a look at and find damage to see if it's there. And again, let the process take its time and just be patient. Let them take a look at it. If you have any issues, I've seen where companies come out and they say definite damage, and I've even thought, well, is there really that much damage? And they just cover it. Other times they say there's no damage, and to me it's blatant. There's damage everywhere. So you have to be patient. Let them do their inspection. Let them do what they have to do, and then deal with it afterwards. And bring in a good contractor if you have any issues.
So I got a couple more tips for Chris. One is look in the neighborhood. If there's been a lot of other homes that have had roof replaced, that kind of sets the tone for the amount of hail damage. Definitely look at collateral damage to gutters, downspouts, siding, trim if you have aluminum trim around the windows. Yeah, your car, anything else, because that substantiates with what's going on with the damage. So, but get a good contractor at the end and see what your report reads, and let your contractor help you analyze that report and make sure you're getting, refunded or made whole. The last thing I got for you, Chris, is that keep it open for a year, because hail damage is granule displacement. And right now it happened in warmer temperatures. When we go through winter and you get thaw-freeze cycles, your roof can look totally different next spring. I've experienced that multiple times, where we have a consumer, they want us to look at it. It doesn't look too bad now. Let us look at it again in spring. You go through all the winter of all the thaw freeze, and you look at it in spring, and it looks totally different. So that's
makes a lot of sense.
Yep. Don't rush. You've got time to take care of it. Do it right. So it is 8:50. We're going to take our final break. One more segment left with J&B Construction. You can find them at JANDconstruction.com. It's a Fix-It Show on WTMJ.
Dr. Ken's mind is fine as aged wine, let me tell you.
This is The Truth on WTMJ.
So why is it that when you don't give people what they want, you're the problem, when in fact they're so self-serving that they'll get it? And then
with Dr. Ken Harris and Denise Thomas.
I'm saying that I'm telling you that for me, if I respect you, it has way more weight than me liking you.
Absolutely.
Sunday night starting at 7.
Intelligent, intellectual.
That sounds like I'm
good
in trouble
looking,
today.
handsome.
Right here on WTMJ.
Hi folks, this is Hank Albert, owner of BBC Lighting. Now that St. Paul Avenue is finally repaired, parking is easy for shopping at our showroom, where you'll see the newest styles of LED lights, chandeliers, ceiling fans, lamps, and mirrors. We sell every major brand, such as Visual Comfort, Tech, Hubbardton, and hundreds more. And our prices are the lowest. I guarantee it. If it's lampshades or repairs you need, we do all that too. BBC is an illuminating experience for the whole family to enjoy, including our famous free popcorn. We're open Monday through Friday from 9 to 5 and Saturday 10 to 4. BBC is located at 20th and St. Paul Avenue near Potawatomi, Sobelman's, and Bachman Furniture. Stay safe and healthy, my friends.
There's an amazing supper club in Wisconsin Dells, Ish Nala, nestled among the pines and perched above the sandstone bluffs of Mirror Lake. The beauty, the history, the service, the food, the fun. Hi, this is Bob Prosser, owner of Ishnala Supper Club in Wisconsin Dells. I've been a part of Ishnala since 1973, and I am so proud to continue the tradition that began in 1953. Why not enjoy a brandy old-fashioned in one of our bars, each with a spectacular view overlooking Mirror Lake, or just relax before or after dinner on one of our outdoor decks. Our Ishnala chefs have prepared your favorites: 24-ounce ribeye, cold water lobster tails, North Atlantic salmon, and of course, Ishnala's roast duck. Thank you for making Ishnala Wisconsin's favorite supper club, where the only thing we overlook is Mirror Lake. I'm Bob Prosser, and I want to serve you.
Hey, former radio wake-up guy Gene Miller here for my friends at Hometown Windows and Doors. That's Hometown with an E for your every window and door need. If that recent cold snap made you think that now is the time to replace those drafty old windows, then now is a good time to call Hometown Windows and Doors. Save heating costs now, cooling dollars down the road with energy-efficient replacement windows and doors from Hometown. Hometown offers the brands you trust like Anderson, Pella, Marvin, Softlight, and more in wood, vinyl, and fiberglass. And all of their products are installed by employee carpenters. Plus, Hometown is the area's only Pella Platinum and Marvin authorized replacement company. Hometown's dedicated consultants can guide you to the best fit and value for your home and your remodeling dollar. Stop in at their newly remodeled showroom in New Berlin and see the Hometown difference for yourself. Or call them for a no-pressure in-home consultation, 414-329-1200, or visit them at hometownwindows.com. That's Hometown with an E for your every window and door need.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station. Call with your problem. We'll try to solve it. It's the Fix-It Show on WTMJ.
Fix It Show sponsored by Siding Unlimited and J&B Construction every week, and we can say thank you to Scott from J&B Construction for sponsoring our show because he's in the studio with us this hour. So thank you very much.
You're welcome. We've been doing it for a lot of years.
Yeah. So it's going to get hot. We got all this rain, but now we're looking at 90s again maybe this week. What should people be thinking about when that happens to their home?
Well, it's been hot, and we got a little taste of it a week ago or for the last couple of weeks. One of the things that's, to me, is extremely important when I do roof bids is that we look at ventilation. That's going to have a lot to do with the longevity of your shingle. It has a lot to do with the healthiness of your attic and everything else. And there's two parts of the ventilation. There's intake and exhaust. And so the ridge venting that's become very popular out there today, that's going to add a lot more exhaust venting potential because it goes across the roof and you're hitting individual rafters. So getting proper intake air. And there's a lot of homes I look at that have a lot of soffit vents. And if you do the calcs on it and you look and you say, yeah, this looks like it's going to be good, what you really need to do is look at the soffit vent itself. There's a lot of soffit vents that are plugged up. It's something that can get plugged up, especially if you're in more of a wooded or a dirty environment area. So ventilation becomes extremely important for longevity and durability, with things. And, that's just one of the many details. When we did your roof, Dayton, you had flat roof, you had low pitch, you had ventilation improvements. So when a contractor comes out and looks at that, there's a lot of things you can do and make a lot of improvements along the way to get you into a better situation. And, the last roof was put on maybe 20, 25 years ago. So there's been a big gap of new products and new knowledge that's come out there that you want to make sure you improve on.
Well, and there's different places to use different venting too. Houses in Wisconsin, older homes have been built on, there's different pieces going off different directions, and so you don't always have a continuous vent. Yeah. So you got to figure out which. Yeah, you got to figure out which is going to work best.
One of the things that I really like to do is I ask the people how old the roof is, and sometimes they know, sometimes they don't know, and stuff. But if somebody tells you my roof is 18 years old and I need a new one already, there's something wrong with the venting. Mm-hmm. If I go rooftop and, guys come out with drones and all these other things now, and we go rooftop, we look at it. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of things you can't tell through a drone or through a satellite imagery. But I will go right up on the peak, take a picture of the south side of the roof and the north side of the roof, and if you can see a dramatic difference in how that shingle looks, you got ventilation problems. And so getting up there and seeing things makes a big difference.
All right, we have 60 seconds left. Tell everybody how to get in touch with you.
You can reach us at our office at 262-437-0537, or you can go to jandbconstruction.com. That's the letter J, the word and, the letter B, construction.com, and you can sign up for an appointment there too. But feel free to call our office and talk with the people there.
What are time frames? If somebody calls you, what's the time before somebody gets out to their house?
Our lead time with bids is running about a week. We have multiple salesmen, with it. And I always tell people, too, I said, take your time. Don't be high-pressured by anybody. I'm an old-school guy. I'm not a high-pressure guy. Back in my day, when I was bidding roofs when I was a lot younger, that's how people educated themselves. They talked to a few different contractors. You get a feel for the contractor, you get a feel for who they are and how you're going to like working with them. They're going to be on your property, and so forth. But it also educates people. So don't be high pressured and, get multiple bids and let the contractors inform you on what you should do and why.
There you go. Scott and Tim, thanks for coming on the show.
Good to see you guys. Have a great day.
Yep. Thank you.
Have a good week.
Thanks.
I won't see you next week.
No,
huh?
I'm
All
going
right.
sailing.
All right.
Racing across the lake.
All right.
Queen's
Enjoy
Cup.
that. Coming in for Rose Gray next hour, Andrea Pratarelli is in for the Fox World Travel Show.
This has been the Fix-It Show on WTMJ, presented by J&B Construction and Siding Unlimited. Advice and opinions expressed during the program are solely that of the hosts or guests, and not WTMJ Radio or Good Karma Brands Milwaukee, LLC.
Your home can be more maintenance-free when you rely on J&B.